Hi everyone, my name's Epic Butter. I've been YouTubing here for about a year about on this game, and this today's going to be a little bit of a different video. The biggest thing that I really like to talk about is really the ultimate pets. Really not liking the direction of the game right now, and there's a few reasons why. And it's not really that it's ultimate pets, but it's the general direction of the game. And it kind of started in the last, well, actually, it started a while ago, but the true issue is that I think the devs kind of lost their way. The game was about really finding your own path, building out all of these different ultimate gear. And there was a time when I wanted to do a video on all these different ultimate gears and be like, wow, Earth build can do this, and Fire build can do Inferno King or whatever, right? Like there was so many things. Like I remember Ice with the Frost Queen and the Frost Tomb effect was actually super strong. And that's just not available. That's just not a possibility if you want to actually play the game and be competitive. I'm not even saying like competitive in like the top 300. I'm saying like within your own server. You can't just go with subpar optimal gear because the value differences are way too high. So we started off with a game that had a lot more choices, and you could kind of mix and match. And I remember running like a three-part ice and a three-part thesis, and I was doing some really fun stuff. And we can't do that right now. Our choices are very locked in. Like we know exactly what part we need and what synergies we need. And yeah, there's some arguments between like 1 or 2 of them, but that's it. It's really because they introduced, like, really ugly elements into the game, and some of these really show that, like, choices are gone. There is a meta, and that's it. So the main meta being, like, you've got your Chronos weapon, Chronos back, your Stigma, you so to support your Fervent, and you've got your Chronos body and your Zephyrus hair and your tiger face. And like, yeah, cool. I got it all. Whoop de doo. It feels good. No, feels like shit. Sorry. And the worst part is that you don't really get to choose Chronos. Like they introduced something called cubes in the last patch where you can kind of like collect 10 cubes and craft something, and it'll be an equal translation to like a part that you grab. And then in concept that's actually really nice, but the problem is that it costs way too much, right? Like each of these cubes on through Charles cost, I think they lowered it to like 400,000. And a free to play player will get, oh, guess what? 400,000. So by the time they get this, it'll be like 3 months down the road, like for one gear, right? And so this whole idea of like building your own stuff doesn't even exist. Like you really just have to keep trying and keep RNGing, and like your quote unquote flexible part is like your Stigma, your Tiger Face, and your Zephyrus, right? So the whole idea of choice is just gone. You don't have a choice. You have to do specific. You have to kind of go a specific way, and it sucks. I kinda think it kinda sucked a lot of the fun out of the game when, like, a lot of these ultimate parts aren't. They're just parts. And, yeah, and I'm coming from, a guild that has had the fortune of getting a lot of opportunity, right? Like, if I look at my parts, I've had probably more opportunity than, like, 99.99 players of the game. And I'm still saying this is bad for the game. I'm still saying that, like, this is not the way this game should have gone. And it's disappointing because I would have loved for the cubes to be 10,000 ether each, and you can collect them all. And really what that would help players do is really catch up to the older players or finish their collection in the ultimate parts, because then they get more accessibility to these, because right now they don't, it's really difficult to finish this. There's only like probably the first generation of players, the first 6 months of players that even have this. And yeah, it's not, there's no reason why anyone would even do this anymore. So it's an entire region of power that is just going to be unavailable for players. So I think by making it cheap, you kind of give availability. I think you kind of allow people to kind of finish out their collection and build out. And I think that's a good thing. and that I think should be something that they go for. The next thing that I really dislike is I kind of said that you don't get to choose your Chronos. And what that meant is like your element kind of chooses you. So there's like this almost fake thing where it's like, oh yeah, pick your element. And new players ask me all the time. They're like, "Hey, what's the best element?" And I have a hard time saying, "Yeah, go invest in fire," because I don't know. I wanted to change the fire. I can't, right? The best version of me is earth, and I don't particularly like it. I haven't liked it. I'm stuck in it. It's due to how the composition works, it's due to how the gear works. I cannot switch. And on top of not being able to switch, I can't switch because the cost of scissors doing master forging costs too much. Like you saw me earlier with what 500 scissors, and part of the reason why I'm hoarding so much is because like I'm gonna have to redo this. I don't really want to. I'm gonna have to. It sucks, right? Like I can't like that star at that HP is not doing me any favors, you know? But realistically, it's like the math isn't really mathing. So the last click on number 12 is 300. So I'm gonna need to wait like a few more weeks to really possibly get something that will work. You get scissors once a week. 99.99% of people in the game are probably getting 20 to 50 scissors a week. They should bracket people up so that they're not competing against everybody. I think that's good for newer players. I think that's good for players that are returning. I think returning players should have their own bracket, and in that way, they give an opportunity for players to catch up. Like it's a non-competitive field right now, and I say that in the sense that really it's just whoever wants to spend the most, and that doesn't really feel like fun to me. The next thing that I think, and really we talked about a few upgrades, all of them that kind of don't have great, all of them don't have a great way to pity or to really leverage out of it. It's all like very much like we'll give you a sample and then you can kind of go at it. And so the next part I really want to talk about is monster cards. They have a 3% drop rate, and their drop rate is also in line with gear. So every time you get a piece of gear, it used to be a celebration. Now every time you get a piece of gear from like an ultimate boss or a nightmare boss, it just feels like crap because it's like, oh, that could have been a card, right? And the amount of randomness to get a card is insane. Like there is no pity for this. While at minimum there is a pity for you to like redeem 20 scrolls for a nightmare gear, and that kind of quote unquote helps you. And I say quote unquote because it's like, oh, you can RNG into another stigma, and yeah, but like how many stigmas have I ran through? Right? Just right there in the screenshot. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, seven. That's 100, and that's at least 100 like nightmare keys, you know? That is not really, really fun. That sucks. That sucks a lot. Like and the truth is like, okay, we accepted it. You can get like full like 3 nightmare keys given to you a week, and then like through Flask, you get gift, you get 3 more if you're lucky. If you go to see Oscar, you can buy one, and that's randomized. Then like there's events that give you keys. So yeah, like I can kind of see that there's some support where like you can eventually get a good stigma if you're lucky enough. But at least there was a path, right? Like right now, it's like you go do your dreaming, and then you get nightmare keys. Then in your nightmare keys, you're not guaranteed a drop for a card. You're guaranteed a scroll, and the scrolls don't even help you get cards. So cards are just one of the most uninteractive because really looking at this, right? Let's really look at this for a second, and you see Lady Vlad, you see Beast Iron Fang, and really what we look for is the equipped effect, right? The first two. And like accuracy doesn't increase your damage. Attack, the most common substat. So you're not really going to use this as an equipped item. So and then Oberyn, like 600% ignores like so you're missing like an entire category. Then this is the only one that has a dual category. And then there's this one that has a dual category, but the way all element res pen works is that you have to have lines with all element res pen. And there's not really a lot of other things that multiply all element res pen except for that one gear line. So it's not really usable. And that's kind of what it's like for a lot of these, is that they're not really usable. So most people are using Lady Vlad because it moves move speed, which helps your fervent, and it has ally damage, which a lot of us have switched to. And the new collab relic also bonuses off of ally damage. So it makes sense. So we're all hunting for at least a level 2 VLAD card. And that could take and there will be players that won't get it. Not in this system. That's bad. Like a uninteractive system is really, really, really toxic. And I have a hard time telling people like you will get it when I know like some of my teammates spent 250 keys to get one. Are you kidding me? It's wild. So monster cards, they need a pity. They need a pity. Master Forging, we need more scissors. And they kind of broke the contract where and the way I mean is like for ultimate skills, after you get them to A10, okay, what are we gonna do with them? Oh, we're gonna give them an ultimate mode. Oh, okay, cool, right? So like I have a bunch of skills, they weren't really used, and now you're gonna give me you're gonna give me a chance to upgrade it. Okay, and then get the we get these crystals by summoning. Okay, that makes sense. That's on, like on theme, right? And what got really kind of dirty was and I'm kind of curious if they have it. I think they removed it, but it used to say here that like you had a chance of summoning um like a different crystal and they changed it. They changed their mind on how they were going to do the transcendent material stuff. So it used to be that we just transcend and we would get extra, and a lot of people were really excited because they were like, oh, I have all these pets, they're all level 10, I'm ready for transcendent pets, I'm excited. And what do? They go around and say, no, we're going to do ultimate, and we're gonna make it different. It's gonna be its own thing, and they make it incredibly expensive. Incredibly expensive. And it's, like yeah, you know what? I did buy it because I am still competitive, but they make it like $50. I don't think that's good for a free to play player. And they make this really difficult because even in the one you do buy, it is completely random. So you can buy it and not be in your element. I feel like they're being really egregious. And to top it all off, they're really, really being egregious about the security. And I've been hesitant to talk about this on YouTube. I've been writing them letters for over a year. Part of the reason why I started at YouTube was really to kind of make sure that I can talk about stuff and really be transparent. So the when I talk about the cheating and I talk about what's available, it is really wild. Essentially, there's a few ways to, and this goes for any sort of mobile game or any sort of like security in a platform like this. There's a few major ways of cheating, and most of it comes in the form of a modified game or basically going after the memory of the game and changing values. Now, this game has had an issue with dealing with one of those, and we've been telling them for about a year. Like I have emails from about a year ago, and maybe this is where I will try to throw a screen of me sending it. But the issue is that the security is handled by the platform owner, which is Comtous, and the developer is Tikitaka. And this is their first game. Well, I say this is their first game. This is their first Comtous title. So that means like this is their first time actually dealing with like the Comtous kind of way, the with Hive developer series. So like what we see in the game and we're like, "Oh, that's cheating. It's so obvious." They don't see it the same way we do. And this is not me defending them. This is just me kind of coming to an acceptance of what they see and what we see and why there's like a complete difference in what both of us see. And it sucks. So right now, part of that one of the models of cheating, and there are services out there that I do not recommend and I am not endorsing. and this will get you banned, by the way, is they will basically charge you a certain amount and you will get a certain amount of rewards. And that is the simplistic way of saying it. And the thing about it is it really ruins any sort of value that's been in this that's really left in this game. This game was fun when we were really exploring, like, different combos of Ultimate Gear and really pushing the limit. It was fun when we were really knew that when we were competing against each other, it was gonna be fair. And right now, like, when someone beats me, I'm like, "I don't know, was it a bug? Was it a hack?" Like, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, was this player legit?" And there are some things we can look at and be like, I don't think so," but it's getting harder, right? Like, it's really getting a lot harder to tell, like, what damage range belongs to what power level range, and they said, like, "Oh, this game is fun because you have so many levers." At the other hand, it is very difficult. They're making it even more difficult to understand if you were beat fairly or beat unfairly. So then the community kind of turns on itself, right? They start accusing each other. There's people that troll. There's people that that are just they're having fun their own way, and it becomes a kind of toxic. And they've enabled all of this. So, this is my little TED talk. I think the developers kind of lost their way. I had a hard time actually even getting to make this video, mainly because of, like, the nature of the topic and how unhappy I've been with this. And I hope I make another video. I hope that it's can bring me joy again. Um, you know, it right now it doesn't. It's tough. It doesn't. Like, I wanna have fun again, and right now the content, the way it is, how difficult it is for people to get strong, how difficult it is for people to get resources to upgrade, it's not fun, and I see all of my friends slowly dropping out, and yeah, that's normal for a game. It definitely is, but it's not normal that people that have stuck along for so long are quitting, and we demand and we ask and we want feedback and we try to talk to developers and they keep us at an arm's distance and it just sucks. We just want to be heard. We just want them to say, we acknowledge that there's cheating going on. We acknowledge that the punishment wasn't fair. This is what we're doing about it, you know? Like, there's still people that didn't get properly, quote, unquote, "punished" for, abusing the monster card bug, and a lot of people quit because it did diminish everybody's achievement. Some people got free rewards, cool, but what it did really show us was that, like, yeah, there is no punishment, or, some people did get banned, but not many, so it sucks. They lost the plot of playing this game. Right now, I believe a lot of us are here because our friends are here, and we don't wanna let our friends down because we gotta fight for our castles. But the honest truth is, what's after that? For a lot of, like, some of our lucky ones, like myself, like, yeah, I got my Chronos, I'm fine. I don't really need, you know, 3,000 more unless they make a reason for me to. And even then, I don't find that interesting, right? Like, they really need to relook at the guild rewards, right? This leadership shop hasn't been updated in forever, and yeah, they need to redo this. They need to redo this so that it's really beneficial for early guilds. They really need to add rank 2, 3, and 4 for early guilds. They really need a GBG3. They really need to add dimension stones to all castles. They really need to add fifth elements. They really need to mix up what we're fighting for so that it's interesting, right? Like, say one of the castles has, like, a pile of, a few hundred fifth element. You're damn right. Everyone's going to pile on it. No alliances needed. Just, may the best man win. That would be cool. But no, instead we get Chronos, and every castle has a different value. And ooh, sometimes there's fog. Okay, you know, like, what's happening right now is there are a bunch of these players and they're all getting castles, and really, like, they're just boosting accounts that I think that I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but there's like a level 8 guild that got like a bunch of castles, and this isn't really indicative of a healthy environment anymore. Like, it's like a job that they made, you know? Like, everybody has to log in. The GVG mode isn't even 24 hours. It's 12, and it's like the worst 12 hours for the USA. It starts at like 8 PM for me, and oh, for East Coast people, it starts at midnight, you know? And really the last few hours of GVG is the most important, and it ends I think now it'll end at 7 AM for me. Great, you know? Ugh, so I'm frustrated. I have sent, I don't know, dozens of letters, hundreds of emails, bunches of tickets. I don't know how many neighbor posts I made. It feels really somber for me, and I just wanted to say thank you for being with me for this journey. I think the devs lost the plot. I hope they change. I hope that they adjust. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.